Ah, war! That grand theatre, where we display the very best of our species. The pinnacle of human ingenuity, wouldn't you say? Of course not, you say. It's utterly stupid, you say. Well, you might have a point there. Hard to argue with the sheer, unadulterated brilliance of blowing each other up, really. War, my friends, is a testament to our boundless capacity for self-destruction. A glorious monument to our collective lack of common sense. From miscommunication to plain old bad decisions, human history is a comedy of errors, a tragicomedy when it comes to war. But fear not, dear reader, for within this tale of woe lies a glimmer of hope, a faint flicker of reason in the darkness. For by dissecting the absurdity, by shining a light on the sheer ridiculousness of it all, perhaps, just perhaps, we can learn to avoid repeating the same mistakes. Perhaps. Take, for instance, the wonderfully misnamed War of Jenkins's Ear. This little shindig kicked off in 1739 because a Spanish coast guard, in a moment of indiscretion, relieved a certain British captain of his ear. Now, one might argue that losing an ear isn't exactly a laughing matter, and one would be right. But was it cause for a full-blown war between two empires? History, it seems, thought so. Fast forward a few centuries, and we have the wonderfully inept handling of the Cuban Missile Crisis. Here we had two superpowers, armed to the teeth with enough nuclear firepower to turn the planet into a radioactive wasteland, playing a game of chicken. Thankfully, cooler heads prevailed, eventually. But not before a few million heart palpitations and a collective sigh of relief from the entire world. And let's not forget the numerous times countries have stumbled into war due to nothing more than a misplaced telegram, a mistranslated message, or a case of mistaken identity. It's enough to make one wonder if we should just disconnect the phones and stick to carrier pigeons. Less room for error, you see. And then, of course, there's technology. Our technology, the great hope of mankind, the bringer of progress, oh, who are we kidding? Technology, in its infinite wisdom, has provided us with ever more efficient ways to obliterate each other. From gunpowder to nuclear weapons, we've certainly come a long way, haven't we? Now, I'm not suggesting that technology is inherently bad. It's a tool, after all, and like any tool, it can be used for good or evil. But one can't help but wonder if, when it comes to warfare, we haven't been a bit too eager to embrace the evil side of the equation. Drones, cyber warfare, artificial intelligence, these are just a few of the toys we get to play with in the 21st century. And the best part? We haven't even figured out the rules of the game yet. Exciting, isn't it? Or terrifying? Probably a bit of both. So, is war inevitable in the 21st century? Well, if history is any indication, it's certainly a possibility. We humans do have a knack for repeating our mistakes after all, but here's the thing, we don't have to. We can choose to learn from the past, to recognize the absurdity of it all, to say, you know what? Let's not blow each other up this time. Let's try something else. It might sound naive, I know, but if we can't even entertain the possibility of peace, then what hope is there? So let us, in our collective wisdom, strive to prove that human stupidity, while impressive in its scope, is not insurmountable. Let us aim for a future where war is not a foregone conclusion, but a relic of a bygone era. A future where the only battles fought are on the football pitch, or dare I say, the game show stage. Now, wouldn't that be something?